just take what we get here. So you're saying the value of dodge is not in leveling initiative? What is the value in leveling initiative ever? That's what I struggle with. This is not good guys for this fight. This is undead. I would like to take this fight, but I need to see what's here. I might back up and come back. We'll see. Yep. Anyone see any legendary weapons before I re-roll on this? Too bad. I like the setup, but I want two-handers for this, especially with 6 guys. 6 guys on a forest is really unpleasant. Yep, I agree with going first is an advantage. It feels like the best benefit of initiative is that I can use quick hands with shields reliably, to me. But it's not all that much of an advantage, especially versus, I mean, you're not going to be fast enough to beat most of the guy. You're never going to be fast enough to beat wolves. You're never going to be fast enough to beat scrubadubs. You're never going to be fast enough to beat most of the goblins. I don't think. I'm not sure about the goblin stuff. I don't know if their initiative is close enough that you can beat them. You're already fast enough to beat orc. You're already fast enough to beat skeletons. You're already fast enough to beat zombies. You're never going to be fast enough to beat geists. So who are you fast enough? What am I getting ahead of? Raiders? I almost give no shits whatsoever about Raiders' turn order. With Raiders, it's all about positioning to get their archers, right? I guess I would like my archers to go first ahead of them, but not that much. I'd rather have the stamina to keep doing things. Maybe a couple levels in archers would be worthwhile for initiative, but it always feels to me like a couple levels isn't enough to actually get ahead of them in the initiative order, which means I either have to heavily invest in the stat, which doesn't seem that good, or I just don't use the stat. It's good with the shield, okay, but wearing a shield kind of counteracts dodge in a sense, because shield has a lot of fatigue. So if I'm starting to put items that take a lot of fatigue, I start negating the impact of initiative anyways. So what I need is an initiative list of my opponents. And I don't know if that exists. Is there a wiki out there that has the initiative list of all the opponents out there? Is it random across their guys? What's the variation on that? Like, how much initiative do I need to be useful? Because then I could build for a cutoff point, right? I could say, well, I want to be faster than goblin skirmishers, but not goblin ambushers. Okay, so what do I need for an actual amount of stam for that? I mean, or initiative. That would actually be interesting to me. Do I prefer this kind of communication to talking with coworkers or bosses or another kind of job? It's a different type of communication. Some of the stuff, yes. Some of the stuff, no, Mr. Statistical. I don't really enjoy the repetition of Twitch. I often feel I end up taking personally some of the questions asked. Sometimes they're clarification questions, but I take them as criticism. And I also just get tired of repeating the same things over and over and over and over again. It was really unpleasant, has been really unpleasant, the process of transitioning from Civ to something else. Just because people ask, when are you going to play Civ? When are you going to play Civ? When are you going to play Civ? Yeah. Good, Sarmation. I can do that again. I mean, I try to talk through the tactics I'm doing in most of my battles anyways. But I will do that once I reset this fight. I'm not fighting Geists with what I have. Archers are pretty poor versus zombies in general, and they're really poor versus Geists. So I'm going to go switch to some two-handers for this. But I went into this fight assuming it was going to be bandits, because it's just a safe assumption. So I'm just running at the moment. Yeah, it's like being typecast. That's a good point. A good analogy, rather. And that's the hope. Death is inevitable. That's the hope that everyone makes that transition too. Chokes are kind of bad versus Geists. Like chokes are really good versus most enemies except Geists, because Geists just sit behind the choke and nuke your resolve, and you can't do anything about it. What you want with Geists is to force them to you, and sometimes they seem to do that with, we talked about already, the speed difference between Geists and zombies. But I'm not able to reliably get them to where I want. Oh my god, are you kidding me? This is a permanent fucking, this is a solid force over there. It's unpleasant. Really? Tree, fucking forest, man. Running a program to speed up the game. I don't really know a program that speeds up the game. I probably would be happy doing that. What chat advice would I give him? Pick good mods. Be clear on what you want from your chat in terms of behavior and make sure your mods enforce that. Because it's going to either make your streaming experience entirely toxic or a lot of fun. And it's kind of, it can be literally one or the other. I don't know. Advice to a new streamer. How new of a streamer? I didn't mean to end turn there. Shit. Good. Like Joe and Ribs level? Okay, so he has a couple hundred regular viewers, then you're saying, and we're not talking like someone with like 5 viewers or something. We're talking someone who okay. I think it differs. I think the advice for streamers really differs based on the number of viewers you're regularly moving with. For someone like Joe and Ribs, I mean, I've talked to him about advice for what he should be doing. He needs to be concentrating on growing more than he is at the moment. Not like he isn't doing that, but I mean, he needs to get larger as a whole because it's not a sustainable number of viewers. In other words, if he wants to do that full time, which I believe is his desire to do that, he can't really make a living off that few number of viewers. So clearly he needs to grow for that. I think as a small streamer, your best way to grow is through specialization, to do things that the big streams can't do, and that isn't just play the game. For me, at least, you know, this probably coincides with my personality as much as anything else. That, you know, what do I do better than most of the other streams out there? I'm better at articulating the thought process and putting some, and not only articulating my thought process, but also validating why I've chosen that particular thought process. So that's what I do well. It comes out very well in guide videos, and it comes out to a lesser degree in just as day-to-day streams. Some people are really funny, really entertaining. Like Beagle comes to mind for that, right? The guy's a hilarious guy. I could not keep up that level of humor for that, like he does, as he does, consistently like he does. So, you know, that's another route you can take for keeping and holding viewers like that. So, someone who's just set up their first channel, it's a totally different experience. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. You have to have basic exposure for that, right? This is the, you know, star in the sky style thing, right? Where like kind of the opposite of that. You ever heard of that approach for security? Basically, if you're one of such a large number, on some level you don't need to be worried about security, because the odds of you being targeted, picked up, or anything else are very, very minuscule compared to just the number of people out there. It's not going to help you. You're going to get 5% sooner or later, or whatever the hell the percentage is, 1 in a billion, or whatever the fuck the percentage is at some point. But it's like the opposite of that as a very, very new stream for a very, very small stream. If you're just sitting there at 1 viewer on the Twitch list, no one will ever find you. You might have the greatest content ever. Probably don't, but you might. And no one's going to find you anyways. So you got to do something to be seen. And some of that is networking. Oh my god, I'm so tempted just to kill these guys. What if I hadn't moved there? What if I just moved to all there and let the guys come on? We could just slaughter these guys. it's so tempting. Just a second. So you gotta do something to be seen. I know they won't respawn, Kex, but I can't, I don't think I can move over there without getting caught in. And I'm really not set up for this at all. And I haven't been paying much attention because I've been chatting as we've been running from here. So I don't think so. I think it's just better to reposition here. So. Yep, exactly. Do some sort of specialist thing. Show them something they can't do, but you can't, that's not sustainable long run, right? Or rather, I suppose it might be. Some of it might be. Okay, let's switch over here. I'm multitasking too much right now. I need to take just a quick break. I need to go figure out what I'm doing about food. We're gonna come back, reset. Probably won't take me more than a minute or two to figure out what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm gonna make food yet, but I gotta figure out what I'm doing. And we're gonna respec our guys, and we're gonna attempt this fight. This fight has enough guys in there. There's a chance at legendary gear, and I'd really like that. So I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, let's get to it. So we need two-handers, preferably reach two-handers that hit through things. Fortunately, I'm not really willing to put Aqua back in right now with the wounds he took. We will steal his necklace. probably. Does this not take an inventory space? No, it does. Alright. These are more legendary shields to kill. Exactly. Now you're getting into the spirit of it. A couple of my guys are going to be a little pissy right now. I got to bring Cat Attack into this fight because we just retreated and took another satisfaction hit on Cat Attack, which is too bad. I really liked having the double rallies last play. I thought Go Joshua did an excellent job with this mega build. I haven't been really excited about this mega build except for these late game guys fights, and now I'm actually quite excited about that. So we'll see. This is the one that gives up shield spec and trains it in for rally. It's interesting. Also, Geist, I should be facing them with proper shields. Okay. Alright, don't need an archer. I'm going to keep leveling these two guys and TH Jazzy. So that means this way, Chris over there. We need the other two-handed sword, which is Kex. Kex gets the beads. Okay. Alright, Kex with beads. Down here, another two-hander down here. Kalios, or probably, actually, yeah, Kalios is 50. What's, we have another pessimist in here? We don't. Okay. It's both Mistral Statistical. Ultimately, it's my channel and things need to happen as I need them to happen. But ideally, I'm picking mods. You know, I pick my mods very simply. I pick mods who are regularly helpful and useful to the chat, not only in terms of making things easier for me, but explaining to other people what's going on and answering questions in chat and being active in chat. Basically, I pick people who are invested for mods, right? So, you know, sometimes I get the super mods or the super volunteers who want to, like Aqua, for example, who's been helping for years on the channel now. And that's great. But, you know, it's both, right? It's both of those relationships. They are suggesting things and volunteering and offering, but I'm also asking that this needs to be taken care of, this needs to be done. So, what are we doing here? We need another two-hander in there. As many two-handers as we can versus zombies, honestly. Drop cubics, pull in there. Back rank is currently Go Joshua in there. I do like spears for a little bit of control, and Oak Dragon's a little pissy, so it would be good to bring him. Actually, good to bring both of these. So this is probably the group I'm bringing. Like that, I think. Okay. How's our armor looking? 285, 250. 215, 378. I don't need this 378 there. What is the weight? 40, 37. This could very happily just be something else, like a 240. Okay, 260 on Stromtaker. Get 4 stand back by going to that. Just switch to a 320 there is okay. What are you asking these for, Mr. Statistical? I'm happy to talk about it, but you're getting disjointed answers because I'm multitasking. I only multitask at an average rate, an average ability. Okay, low stam cost there. We're mostly good here. Missing some of our two-handed axes is a bit of a bummer. Or one-handed axes, rather. Oh, we got one. We got Jazzy in here. Okay, let's try this. I could just give him a two-handed axe.